In today's video, I'm going to take up the 10th Karika, which illuminates the distinction between manifested and unmanifested prakriti. In our previous video, we have understood the threefold miseries and the demerits that are involved in the easy remedies for terminating miseries, and in the subsequent Karika we have seen that the means coming from the discriminative knowledge between prakriti and purusha, discriminative knowledge between the manifest, unmanifest and spirit, leads one to attain liberation from suffering. Prakriti is Mula Prakriti is the primordial nature, and the manifested is the world of object. This is the result of the evolution from the Mula Prakriti. So in this Karika, we are going to explain the distinction between Mula Prakriti, that is the unmanifested Prakriti, unmanifested and the manifested. So let's recite the Karika. हेतुमद अनित्यम अव्यापी शक्रियम अनेकम आश्रितम लिंगम सावयवम परतंत्रम व्यक्तम तत् विपरीतम अव्यक्तम. So hetumad, first it is enumerating the salient traits of manifested prakriti, manifested. So it is hetumad. The manifested world possesses hetu or cause. It is dependent upon cause. The world of objects, the manifold, the multitudinous objects in the world is product, and it is dependent upon a cause, and the cause is the primordial nature. Anityam, all are non-eternal, because they are product of evolution. Since anything is producible is subject to disappearance or destruction, so they are not eternal. Hetumad anityam avyapi, they are avyapi means non-pervasive, or vyapi, non-pervasive, because if you see the evolutes, the first is the primordial nature, the unchanged primordial nature, so uncaused primordial nature, and the evolutes, the 23 evolutes coming from primordial nature, beginning with buddhi, then ahamkara, then from the sattvic point of ahamkara comes manas, then pancha gyanendriya, pancha karmendriya from the sattvic part as well, and from tamasic part of ahamkara emerges 5 tanmatras or 5 subtle elements, and from 5 subtle elements evolves 5 gross elements, and from 5 gross elements the whole world of objects, composite objects, has been produced. So this is the flow of evolution, direction of evolution. So there we have seen that the evolutes beginning with the buddhi, they are non-pervasive. Non-pervasive in the sense, buddhi, can it pervade prakriti? Yeah, it can. Buddhi can pervade its subsequent evolutes like ahamkara, manas and further evolutes. It can pervade this because it starts from buddhi, so it is pervading the subsequent evolutes. But can it pervade its preceding entity, that is Mula Prakriti? No, because it is the evolute of Mula Prakriti. So like ahamkara cannot pervade buddhi because ahamkara emerges from buddhi. So therefore they are abhyapi, they are non-pervasive because they are not pervasive. Mula Prakriti is pervasive because it is pervading all over across the evolutes. All the evolvence comes under Mula Prakriti. So next is Sakriyam. Evolutes are all active, mobile. Like it has been given as an example that Buddhi and rest of the evolutes like Ahamkara, Manas, etc. they take up one body, and after the death or destruction of that body, it leaves that body and take another body. So like that they are mobile or active. Anekam. Anekam is multitude, multiform. So with respect to different bodies, there are different Buddhi, Manas. Okay, and again the 5 elements, gross elements also, they take up different bodies, they form different bodies, and they make up various bodies. So it is multitudinous. Sakramanikam ashritam. Ashritam means they are supported by their cause. The all sorts of products or evolutes are supported by their cause. See, in order for produce their further evolution, in order to generate in order to produce further product, they require the support of prakriti. Therefore they are supported by primordial nature all the time, so far as Samkhya philosophy is concerned. Lingam. Lingam, because it is saying that the manifested prakriti, the manifested nature, is the linga of what? Of primordial nature. On the basis of this manifested prakriti, we can infer the existence of primordial nature. Linga means, it's a technical term in Nyaya philosophy. Linga means hetu. Hetu means the mark or the sign. Sign of what? Sign to infer the thing. Sign is the basis on which we can infer something. So on the basis of this nature, manifested nature, we can infer that there must be some unmanifested cause behind all the evolution. The whole evolutionary process, there must be something which is unmanifested, because this manifested prakriti is dependent upon cause. It is non-eternal. This is non-pervasive. This is mobile, manifold, and supported. So there must be something which is causeless, which is eternal, which is pervasive, and which is one and independent. So this is the primordial nature, Mula Prakriti or Pradhana. Okay, the Pradhana because it is the Mula, the primary or the Pradhana, and from which everything is emerging. So this the manifested prakriti is the mark of primordial nature. Then next is Savayavam Paratantram Vyaktam Tad Viparitam Avyaktam. Savayavam, the product, manifested products, world of objects, are made of parts. They are composite of elements. Like, take an example, a jar, a pot is made up of clay particles. Okay, earth particles. So it is made up of parts, aggregate of atoms. Paratantram, it is subordinate to the cause, that is primordial nature. Because as I mentioned earlier, again it is reiterating that in order to produce something, it must be dependent upon its primordial nature, its cause, that is the primordial nature. So if buddhi needs to produce its further evolute, like ahamkara, manas, etc., then in order for producing ahamkara, the buddhi requires the support of mula prakriti. So Similarly, in order to produce evolutes like manas, ahankar needs the support of mula prakriti. Like that, they are always uniting with mula prakriti for further production of subsequent evolute. That is why they are paratantram. They alone cannot produce anything. Any evolute cannot produce further evolute without the help of mula prakriti. So that is why they are subordinate to the mula prakriti. So these are the salient features of vyakta. Vyakta means manifested prakriti, manifested. And tad viparitam avyaktam. Reverse is the nature of avyaktam. Avyaktam is mula prakriti or the unmanifested. So what are the basic features of avyaktam? The reverse. Hetumat was the feature of mula prakriti, manifested. That means unmanifested prakriti must be causeless. Anityam, then it, in that case of manifested, it must be nityam. So manifested prakriti is causeless, eternal, pervasive. Okay, it is not active. Although it appears to be active, the evolution itself is an active process, but it is itself not active. How it becomes active, we shall discuss it later on. It is not manifold, it is one, and it is not dependent upon anything, it is independent entity. It is not mark of anything, because it is the thing on the basis of marks is inferred. Sadhya. And technically it must be called sadhya because we infer unmanifested prakriti on the basis of manifested prakriti. That is why manifested prakriti has been considered to be the linga of unmanifested. Unmanifested prakriti is not any mark. And savayabam, it is made up of parts, but the unmanifested prakriti, mula prakriti, is not the conjunction of three gunas. It is basically not made up of parts. Okay, it is not aggregate of parts. Simply, it is partless. Paratantram, it is not subordinate to anything. It is independent. So these are the basic nature. These are the characteristics of mula prakriti. So we have discussed the unmanifested prakriti, and the reverse characteristics belong to the manifested prakriti. So far we have discussed the threefold miseries and their easy remedies, but easy remedies lack permanency or certainty for removing those threefold pain. So we understood that the right knowledge is the ultimate ultimate means to get rid of all sorts of suffering. The discriminative knowledge is the right knowledge, and discriminative knowledge between manifested, unmanifested, and spirit. Now, one step further, we started learning that what are the features of this manifested prakriti and unmanifested prakriti. Okay, because we are proceeding towards right knowledge. Right knowledge for why? For ultimately leading towards the attainment of liberation from suffering. Okay, so first we have seen the basic characteristics of manifested vyakta prakriti. Okay, and in comparison to that, we understood what are the main characteristics of mula prakriti. So this is the first step, acquiring the right knowledge. This will enable us to ascertain the distinction between vyakta and avyakta. So this is quintessential for attainment of right discriminative knowledge. Okay, thank you.